How about that drummer? John Cooley.
Oh, wow. That was great. Oh, hi, everybody. This is Cathy, and my guest, that's great, Bill Yeager, and friend of Rick Helzer's. That's right, Rick. I don't know if you're listening yet, but I'm sure he'll be on at some point. So, yeah, Bill Yeager. We were just contemplating how long we've known the pianist Rick Helzer, who's originally from Fresno and lived in LA and also San Diego, and great pianist, arranger, teacher, person. So I think we both met him probably around the same time, and so that's why your name sounds familiar to me, even though I haven't really fully met you before, right?
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So how are you today?
Very good. Now that we have the dog under control.
Maybe she didn't like seeing my face on the screen or something.
No, I think she just didn't know where her mother was.
Oh,
So she was defending her territory.
well, when I watched that, it's pretty exciting. My dad actually was a big band guy. He played sax and he had bands. He led bands in Boston. So I grew up, listening to a lot of that stuff. Stan Kenton was always on in the house, and
Mhm.
um, so it's exciting. There's nothing, nothing like a big band. Was that a Louis Bellson chart?
That was a Louis Bellson chart. Yes. We've been doing a series of concerts, and that was actually the first one.
Oh,
And now we're on to concert number 10.
oh,
So so that was actually 5 years ago. That
right. I
particular,
noticed people's masks.
yeah, yeah. Everybody was masked up. It was very difficult to even get that program, to be able to do it live
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of all the restrictions of the COVID era.
yeah, yeah,
But it came off pretty darn well, though. But it is funny when you see everyone got a mask hanging off their faces.
yeah. Sam. Um, I'm so glad that's over with.
Me too. Oh, gosh.
So this concert coming up on Sunday, April 18th, is number 10 in this
That's number
series.
10. Yeah, number
Oh,
10 of the
cool,
series.
cool. So is that, I can only imagine there must be a crap load of charts of Louis, right?
Oh, I've got them all. Yeah.
How
Uh,
many are there?
oh, uh, from his library alone, I'm guessing 500 or 600. And well, I played lead trombone in Louis Bellson's band for 17 years,
Oh,
and
17
we've yeah,
years.
and we've been
Yeah.
we were close friends. Actually, we were neighbors,
Oh,
and yeah, he lived. I lived in Canoga Park, and he lived in Northridge,
uh-huh.
out in the valley.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's so my relationship with Louis was not only playing in his group, but when I started the Los Angeles Jazz Workshop, and that's where Rick Helzer taught
Yeah.
in Los Angeles. He was like my right-hand man in those years.
Wait, was this in LA or San Diego?
No, this is in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Oh, so that, you know what? I'm sure I met you back then because I was around a little bit. I was dating a alto player named Andy McIntosh.
Oh, I know Andy, sure.
Yeah, and so during that time, that was like mid 70s or something. So, yeah, okay. So now that makes a little more sense.
Yeah, I saw Andy not that long ago. Uh, I had the pleasure of conducting the Louis Bellson All-Star Band at
Uh,
the Los Angeles Jazz Institutes. They put on a performance every year, and this particular one were the big bands of the 60s, 70s. So they had Louis Bellson, they had Don Ellis, they had Buddy Rich, and I think there's one other. I'm not sure which one it was. Stan Kenton, and it was a heck of a performance. But I think the reason that I ended up it was an interesting band because it was half his band from the West Coast and half of his band from the East Coast.
oh,
And Andy was playing alto, and it was really an exciting event to be part of. And one of the reasons that the LA Jazz Institute asked me to conduct is that I have all the charts.
see,
So,
you're
yeah,
smart, man.
yeah.
You're smart. That's how you get your foot in the door.
Well, it's a funny situation. Both Louis Bellson and Les Brown gave me their libraries, but the thing was, both of them actually, you went into their garage, and the floor of the garage was just covered with music, completely disorganized, completely. And so I just basically brought a pickup truck and loaded up all of this just massive amounts of
Wow.
music. And then over quite a few years it took to get it numbered and organized
Yeah.
and all in chart order. And
Uh,
and then so that's how I got all that music. And then so that was donated to me, and then I've donated the entire library to San Diego State. So it,
Wow.
it, it will
I
live
can
on.
relate. I understand that because even on a very small level, on Sunday mornings, I would help my dad put the book together.
Uh-huh.
And actually, I always joked. I say that's why I became a jazz singer because I got the smell of spit and smoke in my nose, which I still love to this day. By the way, Jeff Babco says hello.
Oh yeah.
He said you were a great educator at the Fullerton Jazz Camp in Idlewild.
Oh boy, that goes way back. Yeah, I'm probably well known for my ping pong playing. There, yeah, because they had ping pong tables. It was in Idlewild,
Yeah,
yeah, up in the mountains,
yeah,
and the Fullerton and USC. USC had a camp up there, and I think they still might, and
yeah,
Fullerton did.
yeah,
And I used to do both of the camps.
yeah.
And anyway, we would the big pastime besides the music was playing ping pong on these tables. And I think I went a few days in a row without losing a match. So now I play pickleball every day. So almost every. I say 6 days a week I play pickleball.
Oh, wow. Yeah, man, you're really into that.
Yeah, yeah. Just so you don't hurt yourself. It's even though pickleball seems like it's not that hard on your body, it's just those little starts and stops. It's real easy to throw your back out or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
tweak your knee.
Is it like golf in the way that there's a kind of a spiritual component or like almost a jazz-like component in your point of view?
Could be. Uh, Pickleball is a very forgiving sport compared to tennis, where I played tennis when I was a kid and beyond. being a kid. And eh, pickleball, let's say you have a weaker player. In pickleball, you take that and make sure that you don't hit it, with too much spin or whatever for if the person's on a beginning level. You don't see that with tennis players.
Yeah.
Yeah, but pickleball, and it's very social and very, very nice people. I play at the YMCA.
Oh.
So it's yeah. Anyway, that's
I've heard of pickleball, but I'm not really sure
yeah.
exactly how it works.
Well, my neighbor is in Vietnam right now on a tour, and she sent me a big poster in Hanoi that has pickleball on the top of it. And then the
Wow.
rest of it's in Vietnamese, but can't read. But it just cracked me up. But it's really becoming quite the sport.
That's great. Well, yeah, actually, I think I might have been at that last concert that you were talking about too, when Andy was playing. Yeah, Andy and I hung out again after years, in between my marriages. And I went to England and we made a record together. So, and yeah, that was, I don't, years are hard to tell. And he's
Yeah,
been gone for a while, actually.
yeah.
I'm sure he's been gone for, I don't remember if he passed before the pandemic or not. Anyway, what a great guy, great player. Yeah, really a lot of history there.
Yeah.
I guess one of Maynard Ferguson's favorite alto players.
Hmm. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, yeah, great sound. Did you ever hear what he did with the Metropole?
No, I haven't.
I have to. I'm gonna write down to send you that.
Okay.
Beautiful, Andy and the Metropole. Yeah, really, really beautiful. So what are you doing these days? Let's start from now, and then we'll move around in time.
Well, this is my 41st year at San Diego State, and this is my last year. So I'm
Like a
retiring.
marriage, man.
It is, yeah, 41 years.
41 years.
And my this will be of this concert series. This will be, like I said, number 10, and but this will be as far as me being able to use the resources at San Diego State like I can now. That'll change
You
because
will? You think so? They
I
won't
feel
be
it's
kind of
hard to say.
forgiving? Yeah.
But I will be. Right now, I'm teaching a half a load,
Yeah.
and on an early retirement program,
Uh-huh.
and that ends this coming May. So
How
then
do
I
you
won't
feel
be
about
teaching that.
that?
Oh, it's certainly mixed emotions,
Yeah.
and but this professional orchestra is made up. I'm calling it the Bill Yeager Jazz Orchestra, and that's what we were listening to at the introduction, and it's comprised of my alumnus from both San Diego State and the LA Jazz Workshop. So it's a combination and it's more than just one band. It's sort of maybe 2 to 3 bands worth of people, and they kind of alternate uh, on availability and on the type of music that I choose for a particular concert. Now, this concert coming up on April 18th, which is only a couple of weeks away now,
Yeah.
uh, is going to be the music of Lyle Mays.
Oh.
And most people have heard him with Pat Metheny. And so one of my trumpet players from the LA Jazz Workshop days that's playing on this concert actually has all the rights to Lyle Mays' music.
Oh.
See, and actually, John Pappenbrook, uh, actually, Lyle uh, stayed at John's house the last few years of his life,
Oh,
or months of his life, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. And so that's how we got the rights to do all this really exclusive music coming up. Some
wow.
of it hasn't been performed in 50 years, and it sounds just as
50
fresh.
years?
Yeah, it
You're
was recorded
kidding.
in 1975 and
Wow.
74. And that was when Lyle Mays and myself were at the University of North Texas. And so this concert is largely from that music that Lyle wrote.
That's amazing. And you and Lyle were the same age, like
Yeah,
in your
I'm a year
20s or
older. I'm a
something?
year older than
Yeah.
Lyle.
Wow.
And he, so he's a youngster. So I'm guessing he was like 21, 22 years old when he wrote
Yeah.
most of this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just phenomenal. And
Wow.
I know a couple of the pieces have been just stored in a in like a in a box somewhere that Lyle had. It was just sitting there. I know that some of the music was, according to John, some of the music was destroyed because rats got into the uh, wherever it was, the storage unit, I guess, that Lyle had of his music. So some of it got eaten.
Wow. I hope they enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
I hope so. Yeah,
Ah, that's amazing. I know his niece.
really.
Yeah, she's a fabulous singer. Um, and yeah, she definitely got mentored by him. And yeah, it's very obvious she's really good. I think her name is Aubrey Logan. I think that's. I have to go look before I start spreading that around. Let's see. Aubrey Logan. Is that who she is? No, that is not her. What's her name? Her name is, well, I have to go look. Anyway, yeah, she's very talented, this girl. She I've seen her perform. Oh wait, I have her record here, right? It is oh, I have too many records and CDs here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Everything from yeah, oh, here it is. Yeah, oh, sorry, Aubrey Johnson. Right. And this is her, and she's just so talented. She has this band that's incredible. She writes, she arranges, a beautiful, beautiful instrument. You know,
Hmm.
range and clarity and intonation and ability. She has a lot of ability. Anyway, that's good. Johnson, I have to remember that. But yeah, that's I mean, I saw him at Musicians Institute years ago. And was he alone? I'm trying to remember if he was alone and giving a class. But yeah, what a genius
Yeah.
writer. Yeah.
Yeah, we throw that word around too often, but with Lyle Mays, the word genius really does fit. And it's been a real. I have the original pencil scores
Oh,
of Lyle's, and
wow.
and in preparing for this upcoming concert, it was like taking it was like almost like being a historian to be able
Yeah.
to look at this stuff.
Yeah.
And
Incredible.
when I was playing trombone at the University of North Texas back then, uh, one of the, I this was kind of fun. I'd kind of forgotten I'd even done this, but Lyle and I would get together, and I would add the dynamics, the phrasing, and articulations to
Oh,
some of
really?
to some of the music, and so I'm looking at the pencil scores of Lyle's, and all of a sudden I see my own handwriting on the score from you know. adding things. It's funny
Oh,
at
that's
work.
cool.
Yeah, well, but it's sort of, piano players and non-wind players in general. Uh, Phrasing is it's so much about the air
Yeah.
and where you're going to breathe, where you're going to cut off the notes. And so I got to, it was kind of a thrill actually to see uh, that collaboration that Lyle and I had back 50 years ago.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's funny when you're going along and you say, I recognize that printing.
Yeah, it kind of shifts the importance of time in your head, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. That's
I,
that was a fun thought, and I'm looking forward to this concert. We have a rehearsal actually tomorrow. That'll be the last rehearsal before we do the concert on the 18th.
yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to it's this band is so much fun because everyone knows each other, and but we don't see each other very often, and so it's really a
Like a
neat
party.
reunion. Uh,
Are they allowed to make notes in pencil on their charts?
uh, well, these are not my charts. These belong to John Pappenbrook, and John. He basically, I can tell you exactly what he said about not marking on the parts. He said, He says, I'll search you out and I'll burn your house down if you mark. Those are his exact words. So anyway, so
Uh,
but it's funny. The
that's
majority of the people in the band are playing off of iPads, and so
huh,
they can in those iPads, you can put markings on the
yeah,
music in the iPad,
right.
and I'd say the majority of the people uh, have done that.
Yeah. Oh, that's
It,
interesting. Yeah.
it is, yeah. I'm still conducting off of the original scores,
Yeah.
but it's yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's kind of like just reminds me of the comparison of handwriting your chart or putting it into Sibelius.
Well, one thing about Lyle, he wrote it. His original scores are all in concert pitch, so they're not transposed. And
Oh,
so so from the original pencil, then that was the next step is the transposition,
yeah.
and obviously it evolved him, but no, but when he wrote, that's how he composed.
So, are you reading off the concert page?
Not for the most part. No, as a matter of fact, there's the only arrangement because these are all original Lyle May's compositions, but the only one that's an arrangement is that Chick Corea tune, "What Was,"
Oh, okay.
and the original score I got was all in concert pitch, and I'm looking at it, and I asked John. I said, "This are are the parts all transposed and stuff?" And it turned out they weren't. But he had both versions. Fortunately, he had a
Wow.
transposed version and a non-transposed version.
Yeah.
And so we got those swapped out
Yeah.
because
That would be an awful lot for you to think about or or observe or however you want to put it, but that would be like,
it was discovered right away by the piano player,
yeah.
and got back to me and said, "Well, this doesn't look right," and he was right. Anyway, we
Wow.
we fixed it before it was a problem.
Yeah, yeah. That's great. Yeah. You know, these days especially, um, well, actually, I was going to say something else. You were talking about phrasing and wind players. I was listening to some, I was just listening to Ann Hampton Callaway, and I was listening to um, Karen Allison. I was coming home last night. I just had on this really nice, beautiful music and Hank Jones and all that kind of beautiful stuff. And I was listening to Anne and Karen, and they're such beautiful singers. And phrasing is it's such a unique thing to the individual. Um, and regarding, I'm formulating a question. I'm not sure of my question yet, so bear with me, Bill. Um, but writing, I think that's why I didn't sing with so many big bands over my lifetime because it seemed like it was written and so the phrasing was of the chart was there. And I think I do better with a little bit freer, you know, freer composition and playing. So, but um, yeah, that's I know it's kind of a big subject to talk about. People writing, um, and their writing reflects right how their phrasing is. Is that correct? That's
Yeah,
pretty
of
correct,
course.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, who kind of blew my mind was Andy Bay and his sisters. Did you ever hear that group?
Uh, I don't think so, but
So,
the name's familiar.
okay, so Andy Bay, one of the last, he did die this year, but one of the last great male jazz singers. And he also played piano, which sounded like it was self-taught. Great piano player, but it just had that kind of self-taught kind of thing. And his two sisters, great singers. But what was so interesting was usually if you have background singers, for instance, they're singing these parts that were designed to enhance or, whatever. But they were um, they were singing background parts according to his phrasing. So that was very unusual. I don't think I've
Hmm.
ever even heard that before. Um, so I don't know. What do you have to say about the art of phrasing in writing charts, or maybe it's playing too?
Well, the collaboration between Lyle and I was purely because, especially two or three of the tunes where he actually just completed them just a week or two before we recorded,
Yeah,
and uh, and we just didn't have time to be figuring out, okay, is this going to be off on four? Is this going to be off on three?
right.
And all that. And so that's why we collaborated, was just to save time. I could go
Yeah,
ahead and get the charts marked ahead of time
yeah,
for those. There's always, especially with quarter notes in jazz, is it short or is it long? Well,
yeah,
yeah, that's real important. And because, I mean, if you play a long note short, it's not that big of a deal. But boy, if you play a short note long,
that could be
well,
bad.
yeah, that's pretty obvious. Everybody can hear that you're
Yeah,
so. But those little minor details, especially yeah, because on piano you don't have to breathe,
yeah.
but a good piano player does. Uh, Going back, we since you played that piece by Louis Bellson, it takes me back to Louis and I were adjudicating. I think it was in Las Vegas, a drum competition of all things.
Huh.
And one of the winners was, yeah, I think it was like high school age. And they just one brilliant young drummer after another. And I just remember Louis Bellson saying, when he was doing his critique, he
Yeah.
said, well, the problem with what you're playing is you're not breathing correctly.
Um,
And the kid just looked at Louis and just kind of went, well, what are you talking about? I go, well, I don't need to breathe. And then he demonstrated about how he phrases on the drum set,
oh,
and why you need to no, in other words, music, the human breath is part of all music, and it doesn't matter what instrument it is. And drums, you would think, well,
Hmm.
you know, and that was, you could just see. I still remember the kid, and I remember how his whole face lit up when because he got it.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Louis was. There's another guy, that you can use the word genius. You know, the old quote is when Louis was playing in Duke Ellington's band. Duke
Yeah.
Ellington said that Louis Bellson is the world's greatest musician, period. Not the world's
Wow.
greatest drummer.
Yeah.
He said the world's greatest musician. And coming from Duke Ellington, that's pretty good.
Yeah. 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 That's another person who Andy McIntosh, you know,
Hmm.
introduced me to too. Yeah, because he was playing with Louis when he lived here, and just wow, those were some great moments. So musical, and Louis was such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had did what, a lot of gigs in the LA. The ones I remember the best was we would do a whole week at that Carnation Plaza at Disneyland.
yeah.
And that was like, yeah, I think 6 days in a row of that band getting to play. And all the best guys in LA. Uh, and it's really a lot of fun. And Louis was just one of the things that when I had the Los Angeles Jazz Workshop, when Louis would be writing charts, he would bring them into the LA Jazz Workshop and have my band, or one of my
Oh,
bands. I had four, sometimes five big bands at that
yeah.
at the shop, and he'd bring his charts in and have us read them down so he could hear them. And
Oh,
so, and boy, that was really exciting actually,
yeah.
playing that music that had never been played before, and and then Louis was just happy to have a band real close at hand that's already, all set up, ready to go. And okay, he'd come in and he came in blind actually. And he said, "Yeah, I got two more charts here for you." And of course, in exchange for that, he gave me the charts too. So
Oh,
I have some Louis Bellson charts that probably nobody else has.
Bill, why do
Yeah.
you're gonna have to you're gonna need another 30 years to play all your charts.
Yeah. The library takes up a pretty good sized room at San Diego State,
Yeah, I can imagine.
and I've got it was a funny when I donated it to the university, they had uh, they had it assessed. They had people that work for the university, uh, and what was funny was a lot of the Les Brown stuff that I really, I'm sure glad I didn't throw them out. But a lot of the Les Brown stuff were original compositions or arrangements for different television shows. And when I didn't know it was there, but when the assessors were going through all the music, they came up with where back when Elvis Presley was discharged from the army, his first big television special was with Frank Sinatra on the Milton Berle show. And fortunately, the people, the married couple that was doing the assessment were, from that era. And so they if it was a young assessor, they probably wouldn't know, who those, that Milton Berle had like one of the top, of the beginning of television.
Yeah.
And so on these arrangements for Elvis Presley and Frank Sinatra, you actually have Frank and Elvis's writing notes
Oh,
on the vocal parts and the scores. And so the assessor said, "Oh, this is a piece of Americana history." And so that one piece they assessed at $20,000.
Wow.
And of course that's just that's just going to the university, but that a number of the pieces like that they are like aren't stored with the rest of the library. It's they've put it in under
Huh.
lock and key.
Yeah, yeah.
But maybe somebody will do a dissertation on it
Wow.
in the future.
So much, so much, so much music. I've been fortunate in that I opened, I reopened a club here in LA, near Disney Hall and the Music Center. It's I was doing before the pandemic. I booked it for a few years, jazz, and then the pandemic happened, and then in November, the chef asked me to do it again. So I got another singer friend of mine, Sydney Jacobs, to help me, and so we've been doing 3 to 6 nights a week, and seriously, there hasn't been one bad group. I mean, LA is kind of an embarrassment of riches these days, just so much good music. This week, we had a Cal Arts ensemble that was gorgeous. And then we had a pianist named Matt Politano, his trio. It was like, really, it was like listening to a Keith Jarrett concert. It was brilliant.
Hmm.
Last night we had Josh Nelson teaches at USC, and his a student ensemble was there. Beautiful guys,
I,
man. They were.
I know that name, Josh Nelson. I
He's
think,
a great pianist.
yeah, I think he played at my LA Jazz Workshop
Maybe,
back
yeah, yeah,
back in the '70s, or it could
yeah.
be early '80s.
I think he's
Yeah,
about 50 right now, 50 years old.
it seems. I Yeah, well, I know the name, and that's got to be where it's from.
He's a beautiful,
We'll
beautiful,
see.
beautiful
See if
player.
Rick remembers him. But I
Yeah,
remember the name, and I remember him being. Uh, I think he was the number one piano player at the LA Jazz Workshop back in the day.
I can believe it. He's pretty much the number one, one of the number one piano players in town now. He's really gorgeous. And but I mean, it just goes on and on. It's funny because it's a lot of time, that we're putting in, but you're you've you can't help sit there in the audience and thinking, I'm here every night, almost, a lot of nights, and it's kind of like a forced um, concert listening, you know, but it's you get so filled up with all the music. And when I was watching the big band video there, um, yeah, there's it's such a statement of high level effect that everyone's getting, you, the band, the audience, the composer, the arranger. I mean, it fills in such a huge space of life, It's we're it's pretty amazing business that we're in.
Say so.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so I would like to hear another something else, and so I'm going to share my screen and let's see. This was what I heard, but I had looked for you and I had found all of this. So is there something, I don't know. Well, I know there's some things from 2 years ago,
Yeah.
actually, or 1 year ago, or I don't know, something different. I see that you have like Speak No Evil, Juju, Wayne Shorter, Chicoria stuff.
Uh, I don't. I like them all. I, I, I'd like to give. You know, these are live recordings,
Yes.
and when you listen to them, you would think they were studio recordings. And I just want to give a shout out to Jim Lenahan, who was the recording engineer on
Wow.
these. And just what a masterful job he did taking these live recordings and just making them sound amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
the production that he was able to do.
There's so
So,
much stuff here. I don't know. Let's try ESP.
okay.
Okay. Here we go. Whew. Yeah. Wow. Ah, fabulous. That was great. What a great arrangement.
Yeah.
Wow.
I still get nervous just that the hemiola section. I think it happens actually three times, where you've got all that counterpoint going on with with the layered cross section voicings.
Yeah.
Uh, it, that to do that chart with this, we only had two rehearsals. That's it.
Wow.
Two rehearsals and a lot of individual practicing. And they have sectionals on their own that
That's good.
they do on their own. They're not paid to have sectionals, but they have so much these the musicians in this band have so much respect for the music. They love they and so they're not going to do it half-ass.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to, as long as it takes. Uh, I know Dave Whitman, the drummer on that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, see, yeah, the first one you had was Don Cooley on drums playing the
Yeah.
Louis Bellson stuff, and David on this playing the Wayne Shorter, and then we've had Mike Holguin and Tim McMahon. I've had pretty much a different drummer on almost every, and I would, and drums are so important. Actually, Mike Holguin will be playing the Lyle Mays concert coming up, and of course they all played in my band back in the day, and so I like the people that I select to play stylistically their strengths.
Yeah.
So out of those, six, seven drummers, and because are so unique, I'm able to showcase the talents of of those particular drummers.
Yeah.
And, it's funny that like, tomorrow I'm looking forward to because uh, Mike is just his drumming on this coming Lyle Mays concert is just nothing short of amazing. Just
Uh,
nothing short of amazing. So I'm looking forward to that.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, drummers are, yeah, so interesting. Tonight at the club we have Christian Moraga, who's from South America. He's a drummer and a percussionist, and extremely committed musical point of view. I think he does jujitsu too. He's extremely committed. The music is stunning. It's gorgeous. It's you know, some of his originals and some older South American music, and the band's great. And but it's just it's stunning. But but I yeah, drummers are kind of fascinating. Last night or the night before we had Mark Ferber. Are you familiar with
Oh,
him?
sure,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Now there's an amazing
yeah.
drummer. He's so musical.
Hmm.
It's never about I'm here I am the drummer. It's never about that. It's he's always a part of the music, adding. He's quite special.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so do you arrange as well? You might have said this already, but I don't even imagine you would have time,
Well,
or maybe not
not
even the desire.
not on the level of these people, that's for sure. I've written a few big band charts, but that's I'm just an old trombone player.
And a band leader.
Yeah, and a band
Okay.
leader.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, um, do you have, you mentioned obviously some drummers and big band charts and arrangements that you have. Besides the ones you've mentioned, like coming forward in time, who are some of your more admired uh, bands, charts, whatever?
Yeah. When I had the LA Jazz Workshop, all the almost all the big bands in Los Angeles rehearsed in my studio.
Oh,
And instead
wow.
of charging them the hourly rate,
Yeah.
I just okay, I'm going to choose this chart and pull it out of the book and make copies of it. And so like
Ah,
well, like say like Bill Holman is one of
yeah,
my favorites,
me too.
and and I've got Bill Holman charts that nobody else has because I would just pull them out of the yeah.
Wow.
And one nice thing about the old LA Jazz Workshop days, which is I had the LA Jazz Workshop for 10 years
Excuse me,
about.
where did you hold it?
It was original. We had two locations. The first one was on Sepulveda Boulevard in Sepulveda,
Okay.
and then the second one. Then I had to move they sold that building, and then I moved to Reseda and Sherman Way in Reseda.
Okay.
And
Was it a restaurant or no?
no,
Just a
no, it was a school. It had
oh, I see.
usually four big bands, sometimes five over the summer when the colleges weren't meeting.
Yeah.
And we had Rick Helzer teaching the small groups and arranging. Lad McIntosh was
Mm-hmm.
teaching for me. A lot of guys. Uh, I can't name all, but just all
Yeah.
LA studio players.
Yeah.
Landy Morgan conducted the super sax ensemble.
Cool.
Uh, it just it was a lot of fun
Yeah.
in those years,
Yeah.
and that we it became kind of a mecca. It was a hard thing to give up and move to San Diego. Actually, I didn't give it up for 3 years. My
Oh,
first 3 years at San Diego State, I bought an airplane and I flew my Cessna 172
oh,
back and forth from
oh my God.
the Whiteman Airport, which was in near Van Nuys.
Wow.
Uh, I, I even would fly down just for a faculty meeting and turn around and fly right back. So
Wow.
those 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 3 years were pretty amazing as far as that goes. And boy, I got a lot of hours on my pilot's license. Yeah.
I'm sorry I interrupted you. You were
Oh.
saying talking about something and I don't remember. Do you remember?
No.
That's
Uh,
just how it
oh,
is,
you were
ladies and
asking
gentlemen.
about the different big bands.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah, all the ones that you can just about list uh, that were rehearsing at the L.A. Union Hall.
Yeah.
Since I was in the San Fernando Valley, almost all the musicians lived in the valley. and
Yeah.
so it was more convenient. And it 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 also it worked to where, let's say, Bill Holman is going to have a rehearsal, and one of the regular trombone players can't make it. Well, he's already got me on the phone. Oh yeah, Bill, can you play? So I got to play in all the big bands pretty regularly
Oh.
in those years because I was there. Yeah,
And you weren't bad.
I hope not. Those were anyway.
That's great.
Yeah, well, and like mentioned, Rick Helzer was such an integral part of the workshop,
Yeah.
and and at San Diego State,
Yeah.
and until he retired.
Yeah.
Uh, just he and we made such a great duo in that all the things I want to teach and do, he didn't want to do them, and vice versa. Doing what Rick loves is not what I particularly wanted to do. So we for just two people, we had it pretty well covered
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, over the years.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. In those years too, I was, let's see, 75 for a year and a half. I was a waitress at Dante's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that was another way I got into the community.
Mhm. In 1976, I moved to Los Angeles, and my apartment in North Hollywood was walking distance from
Oh,
Dante.
see? So I probably saw you then too.
Probably, I would walk over to Dante's fairly, you know, you know, once a month anyway.
At least.
Yeah,
Yeah, those were good days. It was wonderful. And
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I was like 21 or something, 21, 22. And I hadn't really begun to sing in town that much. I had moved here with a guitar player, so we had, little gigs together. But that's when I started, getting into meeting people and performing and stuff like that. But anyway, those were good days. Very, very good days.
Well, I sure like living in San Diego. As because I fortunately I bought this house when it was still somewhat affordable,
Yeah.
and so I've got right. I'm right on the beach, so
Oh,
uh, it's really a
wow.
wonderful place to wake up to.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's really, really nice.
Actually, next weekend Rick will be staying here.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
that'll be fun. We'll go out and have sushi, our regular our regular thing that we do.
That's great. A few years ago, I went up to Fresno and he had me guest there, and that was fun. We hung out and yeah, with the band, and it was great. And I was a friend of also he and I friends with Lauren Pickford. I don't know if you ever knew him. He was a sax player and a piano player, very creative guy from Fresno.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, and Lauren passed a few years ago, so there was a memorial, so I went up for that. Yeah, it's nice up there. It's really surprising. It's like
Hmm.
Fresno. Who would imagine there's great jazz in Fresno, but there is. It's great. A lot of it.
Yeah. I just actually when I talked to Rick, actually when I went before this interview, I went on a hike with a friend, and I see that I have that Rick called,
Yeah.
but by the time it got ready I didn't. In other words, when we get done today, the first thing I'll do is call Rick, because I
Yeah.
know I just sent him some of the music that we're going to add.
Yeah.
Actually, two of the pieces we just decided on yesterday that
Oh,
we're going
really?
to add. Yeah, that we're
Oh,
going to add Rick. It's sort of an interesting, kind of like with this rhythm section. Rick is the teacher, and Anthony Smith is one of who's the piano player in the band is his student.
oh,
Yeah,
cool.
and then the vibes player, because Anthony is a great vibes player also.
Oh,
The vibes player is his student. So you've got teacher,
oh,
student, then the student becomes the teacher, and then the next student.
that's nice.
Yeah, yeah, it is nice. Yeah, and
Yeah.
to see how they've all evolved over the years.
So your concert on April 18th, where is it at the university?
Yeah, it's at the University Smith Recital Hall,
Uh-huh.
and it only holds 300 people, and we usually get right around 600. So we do two concerts, one at 1 p.m. and one at 3 p.m.
Oh, cool.
And so and they're usually sellouts. So
How are ticket sales? Are they starting?
oh yeah, I'd say it's well over half.
Oh, great.
Bottom, well in this day and age, it's all online.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this particular, I don't know if you noticed on that last video that we just watched, behind the rhythm section, notice that part of the audience is on stage because
I
we,
saw people there, but I
yeah,
wasn't aware that it was the
that's
audience.
that's what it was. Is we just uh, we are allowed to put about, if we have an overflow, I can put 40 or 50 people
Oh,
on the wings of the stage,
oh,
and they're actually, the people really enjoy it from that, but yeah, you can't, one thing you can't do is have people sitting in the aisles and all that. That's fire hazard.
yeah.
But that stage in Smith Recital Hall is really, I mean, it's built for a full symphony orchestra
Oh,
size. And so putting an extra 50 people on stage is not that big of a deal.
that's great. Yeah, I would think that would be very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have people that, ask, say, hey, can I be in one of the seats
Yeah.
on stage instead of in the hall itself?
Yeah. Yeah, for those people like me
Mhm.
who like to be in the front row because it makes me feel like I'm in the band.
Yeah, sure.
Um, Disney Hall has this ability, which is actually cheaper, but to me it's really fun. Literally just right behind the stage, there's seating. It's not as big, of course, as the front, but it's great because you actually feel like you're in the band.
Mhm.
It's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, that's exciting. I love that. Yeah, so those of you listening from San Diego or who want to go down there, that'd be really nice.
Yeah, it would be really, and that's what Rick and I were just talking about that the other day about maybe this podcast will be seen by some of the LA people and people
Yeah.
that are Lyle Mays fans
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and would like to hear this unique music. And the thing about Lyle's, I think there's eight, I think 8 tunes that we're doing of his, is they're all, you'd never think they were written by the same person.
Oh,
They're so different.
huh.
You know, you got the closing piece that we're doing is entitled Warp Factor. That was probably named because the Star Trek series was real popular back in 1975. And it's very, very Igor Stravinsky oriented
Oh,
and very much from his famous The Rite of Spring.
mm,
And it, Lyle has some parts in that are very Stravinsky-ish. And then you'll have another piece, I think Sir Gawain is much more Johann Sebastian Bach. the counterpoint throughout that. And then we're doing a piece called FM, which is really almost a pop tune.
Hmm. Yeah.
And oh, in other words, each piece is a blank slate. I mean, if you don't like one tune, you're probably going to like the next one. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's the it's that diverse. The writing is just it is amazing and a real challenge to perform. A
Yeah.
real challenge to perform. I know we just listened to that arrangement of ESP, and that's pretty involved stuff. Well, this is
Or
even more involved than that writing.
is this the first Lyle Mays concert that you've done?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is yeah because getting the permission to
Yeah.
do, especially the pieces that haven't been performed in 50 years.
Yeah.
Uh, that's that's I'm really excited about it. It's and then and I think back and it's 50 years ago that we were doing that. Lyle wrote this stuff, and you know, and of course, I guess maybe we should have realized that he was going to become a
An
jazz
icon.
icon, yeah, a
Yeah.
real icon.
Yeah.
But back then he was, you know, whatever, 22 years old, something like that,
Yeah.
and just just amazing. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
shake my head at it, and it's what a privilege it's been to go through
Yeah.
all these charts, and we have our last rehearsal tomorrow,
Yeah.
and and hopefully everyone has practiced their parts.
Let's hear. Let's hope. Hope
Yeah,
that's happening.
oh yeah, they all have such, you know, they have self-respect that way,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they're not going to come in unprepared. I'm not worried about that
Yeah.
at all. Yeah.
Um, I wonder, over the years, if you've thought about this or it's changed or you don't even think about it, but do you have like a deep-seated desire, kind of, I guess I want to know why you do this. Why do you do what you do? Because it's an awful lot of doingness. And do you or had you started with a desire to share the music or um, put things into people's ears and head, or just because you want to do it, or you know what I'm asking? What has been your forward motion
Uh,
intention?
I see. More like motivation.
Yes, yes.
Uh, Conducting for me, it's like putting together a crossword puzzle. When you have that score in front of you, and this and this and this, and making it into one uh, homogeneous composition sound, in having, you know, because we have what, it's a 22 piece orchestra, and taking that and making it a whole. And I guess that's what has always gotten me. When I was a graduate student at North Texas, I got to conduct the bands, and that hooked me right away as far as conducting, besides playing trombone. And uh, I enjoy that aspect of it, as much as anything. I
Yeah,
guess that would be my motivation, is taking a raw piece of music and then not just making it good, but making it great.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's funny when listening to that recording of, well, there's a dichotomy from the first piece you played, the Louis Bellson explosion, to that wild Wayne Shorter arrangement. That sort of diversity is what I enjoy too, is playing people's music that maybe isn't that easy, you know, that everyone has to. Anyway, that's my motivation, I guess, is the music.
Yeah.
I get a kick out of it,
Yeah.
and and I get a kick out of you know, seeing it start, on a certain level with like the first rehearsal. You're just lucky to get through all the stuff,
All right.
you know, and you're biting your tongue because if I started saying prematurely this problem or this problem or this problem, you wouldn't get through it all.
Yeah.
And so now with this being the final rehearsal tomorrow, I'll be a lot more critical,
Yeah.
and that's that's fun. As far as conducting college bands or professional bands, it's what you don't say is more important than what you do say. So you start off as a conductor, it, maybe it's somewhat ego, but everything that's wrong, you want to say, hey, this is that, just to let everybody know. You hear that, okay, this is wrong, this note's wrong, or this should be short and you're playing it long, or whatever. And you learn over the years what errors are going to fix themselves, and don't waste time even bringing it up.
Yeah.
Of course, by the last rehearsal, you're going to have to bring it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to be a problem. But the idea, though, of what you don't say is more important than what you do say is something that takes quite a while to get fixed in your head.
Yeah.
Uh, Sometimes, not too much, not with these guys. I don't get that. But sometimes I get someone that's going to point something out that which is absolutely 100% true, but it's not always the right time
Yeah.
to point it out. And anyway, I hope that makes sense. That
Yeah, it does. I mean, I go through somewhat of that in workshops. You know,
hmm
I generally don't have students comment on each other because
hmm
they don't know how. They without, I'm, I'm being kind and my perspective is kind of, a higher general level and I know how to direct them to improve and
hmm
not take a loss on it. And, students usually don't think like that, they just want to say whatever they think. So I do understand that. Yeah. And that's another thing we haven't fully talked about is your teaching. I mean, obviously, you know, you've been teaching a long time, and uh, I I guess you must be doing a good job because you're still there and people talk about you.
uh, uh, I enjoy it. Yeah, that's the bottom line, is enjoying what you're doing, no matter
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
And, this last 5 years, I've been doing quite a bit of teaching online,
Oh,
and and yes, I enjoy it, but it's not the same as conducting the
yeah.
groups. It's
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
same.
Are you teaching trombone and are you teaching arranging or
Oh,
conducting
I'm
or
primarily right now I'm doing jazz, or I'm sorry, American popular music, and I'm laying. I I have a lot more jazz in it than a non-jazz person would have.
right?
But the recordings that you have online are geared for my students, and
Oh,
they in those YouTubes they have to write reviews
oh,
and listen to the music and point out. And part of the education is learning these are non-musicians, and learning the what we call general education class, and using the correct musical terminology for describing what they're hearing. And some of them do real well. Uh, the, everyone's talking about AI now, and a good example of this was ChatGPT had a commercial that was shown during the Olympics that I just happened to be watching. And it's listing all the things that it can do. And the last thing they actually said on the commercial, and they can write your child's term paper for it. Well, that's what, especially when the AI just came out, I got these papers on Louis Bellson
Uh,
where they took it off of the Chat GPT, and it's about a concert that doesn't exist.
oh,
I mean, they're saying, "Oh, I really enjoyed such and such piece by Louis Bellson, and it was never played."
wow.
So anyway, that's the everyone's all. I can see how there's going to be a lot of positive from AI, but there's a lot of negative, and it's called cheating. And that's, uh, but I've got all these warnings on my syllabus and the class schedule to not do this,
Yeah.
and so it was out of there were probably only two or three people that actually just did not do the assignment, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah. You have to wonder why they're taking the class. You
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. They're only cheating themselves, and it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it is kind of strange, but that's just the way of the world these days.
I
Uh,
was speaking with someone last night about he's an architect, and he's using AI to uh, present his plans. However, AI it changes, and it's not a real personal communication and explanation to the customer. So he's using it. He likes to use it for certain things, but it's not the end all.
no, it's well, it's something that's so new and evolving,
Yeah,
and I don't think academia. I don't think that because they're touting it as such a wonderful thing. I don't think they realize the dark side of AI relationship to plagiarism, and
yes,
it, it I think I guess my opinion right now is wait and see.
yeah, yeah,
But what I've been getting from these student papers is a real negative side of it.
yeah. It's not much further than, having the ability to go online and get information online. It's not much further from that, but it's definitely the next step. I mean, you know, and it's the same in all aspects of life and study and career. It boils down to are you going to spend time on looking at your phone, or are you going to put your phone down and have a conversation with somebody? That
Good
it's
point.
kind of holds that too. Um, Mark Baldrich, he asked, I can just imagine. He says, "What's your opinion on using AI to arrange big band tunes?"
Oh, that's a good point. I know that you can uh, you can do that, and uh, I was just my friend that I just uh, went for a 2 hour hike with.
Yeah,
Uh, just he was talking about that because he does a lot of arranging, and I guess some of the stuff comes out sounding pretty good.
yeah, uh,
So
yeah.
it, but I haven't tried to do it. So, but
I
it's
did
funny.
inter I did interview a friend of mine who's kind of a beboppy singer, and he's a really good lyricist. He's taken a lot of old bebop songs and written great lyrics. And he um, had AI, I guess, arrange the songs and create the songs, even with a singer, you know, singing the songs. And I mean, he wasn't touting it as the last word, but it was just a process that he used to just to see what was happening for fun. It's a good demo for
Mhm.
sure. And he was singing into the AI, so the AI was using his phrasing, which was interesting. And then sometimes you could really tell that it was AI, especially with the voice and but for the most part it was interesting. It was an interesting conversation.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly has its good side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all for that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, what do you?
It's here to stay,
It's
right?
here to stay, that's for sure. I mean, pretty
um,
soon we're gonna drive up and get a hamburger, and there's not gonna be any person there. I can see that being especially the fast food industry, just becoming just it's completely
yeah.
mechanized.
Well, it's all already. I mean, I get confused. Like I go into these places and you don't you don't go up to the counter and give your order and pay. They have like these machines. Just a fast food place.
Mhm.
And I get confused. I'm like, what's going on? I don't know. I'm not sure that they're saving so much money by doing that, but I was kind of looking at doing another one, like either Windows or Crystal Silence, just for like
Sure.
I'm guessing a little more of a.
Crystal Silence is a very unique arrangement. And yeah,
Okay.
because you've listened to a Louis Bellson concert and you've listened to Wayne Shorter, and this is the Chick Corea concert.
Okay.
This is a very different chart. Again,
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
very different.
Yeah, he's a beautiful player.
Yeah, that was Christopher Holliday.
Very
And
nice player.
he got his master's degree uh, with me quite a few years ago.
Hmm.
And but he was a teen sensation
Oh,
when
really?
he was like, yeah, he was pretty famous. I remember the first time I ever heard him play uh, was on the Today Show
Oh,
on NBC,
oh,
and he had a record contract when he was 17 years old with Columbia,
wow.
and just and made two or three, four albums, and really quite well known. He's a real child prodigy. He
Wow.
played with
What?
Maynard
I'm sorry.
Ferguson's band too.
What was his name again?
Christopher Holliday,
Oh,
Hollday, Holiday. Yeah, he taught high school for quite a while too. But as you could hear, he's an amazing talent.
yeah,
And, and that chart that is it's you wouldn't really even call it a big band chart.
yeah,
It's so symphonic
yeah.
in
I
nature.
I noticed there was a about halfway through or three quarters of the way through there was something that I like to do too, which is if there's a line that is contained in four bars, actually stretch that out to six or eight so that there's space. There's the line and then there's space. I love doing that. It's just I don't know, opens up, you know, the I don't know. It's just great. It expands the listening.
Well, I take my hat off to Christopher because that particular solo, he's primarily an alto player.
Uh-huh.
But he plays great soprano. He plays great flute and clarinet too. He's very accomplished, and he's playing. He's featured on this Lyle Mays concert quite a bit,
Cool.
and but he's he, I don't know. I haven't listened to that in a long time, and it's very that's that. There's it's almost minimalism in that
Yeah.
arrangement, and but all those staggered entrances where you're arpeggiating the chords, that's really hard to do in a big band setting because when you're playing a chart like that, it's almost like everybody has a lead part. It's not like it's just well, there's no block uh, arranging. I don't think in that piece hardly at all.
Yeah.
It's all cross section voicings, a lot of doubles on the woodwinds, very difficult doubles too. Yeah. But yeah, that was and that and Christopher's playing is just amazing
Yeah.
to me. And actually he had an alto solo on the Louis Bellson chart that we listened to, and you
Yeah.
listen to that, and then you listen to this, and you'd never know it was the same person.
Right. I did notice that he's in the other videos. If
Yeah,
you had to,
he's one of the few people that's on every one. I've
yeah,
used him on as my first alto player on
yeah.
all of my all 10 concerts so far.
Okay, cool. If you had to give advice to somebody who was working on arranging for big band, what would you say?
Well, uh, I guess listening would be the most important thing
Mm-hmm.
because the jazz is very stylistically. It's not like you can just sit down and start writing it. You've got to listen to the music.
Yeah,
And, and I guess you could say that's true about all aspects of jazz, in that listening to the music is equally as important as practicing. I mean, And in a big band setting, the most dangerous person is the one that thinks they're always right and aren't listening to all the other parts and how theirs fit in, and they like just go honking through the darn thing. And that well, to really play it well, like in that arrangement of Crystal Silence is really like that, in that you have to know all the parts around you to make your part really fit in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that would be my advice is listen to as much of all types of jazz as you possibly can, and classical music too. I mean, and rock music and funk and what, listening, ears are more important than chops, because if you don't have the ears, the chops don't make any difference.
And
Okay.
so, how does that translate when you start arranging?
It's a funny thing. Okay, so when Rick was teaching at San Diego State and at the shop, you get different, and this is their first composition, right? Their first arrangement for the full orchestra. And some people, that first arrangement, they just don't they just don't have any ideas too much. And then you have the other side of it, where a person brings in an arrangement that's just completely overwritten. They have so many ideas. Now that's the person that is going to be great at arranging and composing. In other words, when I listen to a person's first composition and it's overwritten, that's good, because now you can sit and start editing it down. And but the person that doesn't have the ideas on the first arrangement, they probably ought to do something else. So yeah, so that's those people that would come in with overwritten charts. Those are the ones that I would really come up and talk to them and say, hey, this is good for you. This is what you want. Now you just have to learn how to edit your ideas.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Well, we're just about over. I mean, I don't want to hold you up too long, but again, this Bill's talking to us from San Diego, and he's preparing for his 10th concert in a series over a number of years, to at the school um, at Cal
No,
State,
no, San Diego State.
San Diego State, right? I knew I wasn't getting that right. And that is Sunday, April 18th, San Diego State University.
Right.
And it's going to be a tribute to Lyle Mays playing music that's not actually been out there. And I wish I could come, actually. So, are you going to video that as well?
Probably just probably just a recording.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because the the ones that I have up on YouTube all have 8 to 10 cameras,
Yeah,
different shots, and that takes a lot of people.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so and with the family of Lyle Mays, I don't think they want it to be, they want it. I don't think they want it
yeah,
commercially
yeah,
uh, recorded.
right.
So I will make a simple recording of it, but not like these concerts that are 32 tracks,
Yeah.
32 tracks and 10 cameras. That's a that's that's a big production. So I'm not going to that extent on this concert.
That's good. All right. And so another question, you're retiring. Do you have any particular plans for right after you retire, or you're just going to relax and just see what happens?
It's hard to say. You know, I one thing that I hadn't really decided on is a retirement party, and I've been getting just a lot of people coming and coming to me and saying, "Well, we have to do something," you know, and
That would be a hell
so
of a
that
party.
yeah. So right now we're talking about possibly doing it at the Bernardo Winery
Ah,
and have a just an afternoon of fun.
yeah.
And so but what exactly I'm going to do, I'm not really sure. It's like everything else in life; it just happens. And I don't think I'll be a professional pickleball player, but it's a yeah. It's a. I mean, I'll still be involved in music,
Oh, sure.
but to exactly what happens. Uh, I was contacted recently by the California uh, Arts that that is centered in Escondido, which is just east of northeast of San Diego, and they're interested in starting a concert series with my band.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
it's a California Center for the Arts,
Yeah,
Escondido. That's what it's called.
that's very
So
nice.
they contacted me and possibly doing something with the symphony. Uh, and of course, we could always play, you know, a club, but it's tough when you've got 20 people and you're dividing up, you know, the door.
$30.
Yeah, no, it's like so that's an aspect of it that I'm probably not going to do.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but we'll just wait and see. Another good friend of mine, Gene Aiken,
yeah. Gene
taught
Aiken.
for years at University of Northern Colorado, is one of my very best friends, and he taught at the LA Jazz Workshop too. And he lives in Taiwan now,
Oh,
and so there's a possibility of maybe we can take this band over there.
oh, wow.
That would be pretty amazing. But that's a tough one because these guys all work.
Yeah,
It's not like taking the college band over there. Which I have. I've taken the college band to Taiwan.
yeah.
Uh, and a lot of the guys in this band uh, were on that tour, Taiwan, and we went all over the place. Actually, the last tour we did right before the pandemic,
Hmm.
so let's say 6 years ago, was to Montenegro and did a
Oh,
tour of that entire country, and that was really really fun.
wow. Yeah,
Because what great audiences. Yeah, they're
yeah,
just yeah, that's true in Europe in general and Japan.
yeah,
The audiences are very enthusiastic about
yeah.
American jazz.
Very, very. I would imagine your band. I'm very familiar with Japan, and I would imagine your band in Japan would really be exciting for people.
Yeah, yeah, I think that would be fun. We just my wife and I just 2 years ago just went back to Japan. Uh, Les Brown used to do it's called the RX Jazz Festival. That was in Tokyo and then Yokohama and Kyoto
Yeah.
and Osaka. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and that was those were really fun. That but the thing that always got me, I remember we did like Yokohama Stadium with maybe 30,000 people,
Wow.
and when we were done playing, wonderful applause. But when they left, it was just like no noise at all. It was just so quiet, you know. And here's 30,000 people leaving uh,
Yeah.
this baseball stadium.
Yeah. And sometimes, like during the concert, there's not really a lot of reaction going on. However, after the song, there's applause, big applause. Yeah. It's an interesting, I love the country. I've been going
I
there
do
since
too. I do
1980.
too.
Yeah. I'm going
Uh,
in May for a few weeks.
yeah,
Yeah. It's a really beautiful culture.
it is.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and they probably love. I think, isn't it interesting? I think that as far as buying jazz,
Yeah.
Japan and Germany are the two biggest uh, buyers. I
Yeah.
mean, participants. Oh,
I'll tell you, that's one reason why I don't throw out all of my remaining CDs in my garage because I go to Japan every year and I
yeah.
can sell a number of the CDs. So, which is great. And yeah, it's really nice. I love it. I feel like, oh, do I really want to go on the road again and all that it takes, all the effort. But then I gotta go to Japan because I've been going there so long. And I have a lot of friends, and it's just such a great experience when you're there, playing and teaching, and it's just it's beautiful. It's an integral part, of your life,
Hmm.
and so yeah, I really like it. But yeah, that would be great to see your band there. That would be so much fun.
That was something. It could happen. I
Hey,
mean,
you never know. Retirement might not be retirement, really.
yeah, could be. We'll see.
Well, Bill, thank you for talking, and it's been a real pleasure.
Thank you, Kathy.
Yeah. Send my love to Rick when you talk to him.
I'm going to call him right now.
Okay. And I'm going to send you the Andy Metropole thing. And
Oh,
also, I think if I can get it together to send you this arrangement that Rick wrote for me on my first record, I'll send you that too. It's really nice.
sounds good.
Yeah. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, well, I'm going to let you sign off. You can hit end, and then I'm going to just tell the people it's coming up. So.
All right. Well, thanks again. Enjoyed it very
Thanks,
much.
Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Thanks. Well, that was very special. Um, and, uh, if you hang out online, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to blab a little anyway. But for those of you living in LA, I'm booking Birds of a Feather Jazz Lounge.com down in downtown LA. Tonight we have a brilliant South American percussionist musician named Christian Moraga. It's very stunningly beautiful music. So that's tonight. All the concerts, except for some Sunday brunches, but sometimes Sunday nights we do it as well. But tonight it's 7 to 8:30 downtown. Just go to the site. And then tomorrow night we have John Prue, who's a great jazz pianist and singer, and his daughter, who's in her 20s, and she's fantastic. She's a singer and a guitarist, and she's really into Brazilian music. So it's going to be really beautiful. Earlier that day, I have a steady gig down in Santa Monica. If you guys are around, 9:30 to 1 at a place called Brightside Kitchen. It's very close to the beach. It's at 2nd and Broadway. No cover. It's just nice food and breakfast and lunch, and then you walk over to the beach. It's really nice. Next week, next Monday, I'm going to see about having possibly Anna Gazzola on my noontime show. She's a Brazilian fabulous singer and multi-instrumentalist. And next week, for those singers, you have asked me multitudes of time for jam sessions because I used to run a 16-year jam session. So Thursday, myself and my business partners, vocalist Sydney Jacobs, we're going to have a jam session at the club, Birds of a Feather Jazz Lounge, and 7 to 8:30. Singers for singers. We'll have a great trio: Todd Hunter, John Leftwich, Chris Wabich, and it's very cheap. Cover $15. Great food at this place. It's award-winning Vietnamese vegan food. So come on over and look at our website and see who else you want to come see. So thank you so much. Thanks to Bill Yeager. Thanks to Rick Helzer for introducing me solidly. And have a great day. I'll see you later.